Okay, so hi guys, if anyone just didn't know before, my name's George West and I'm used to speak about vegan. Basically, so I've been vegan for the last 3 months and I just want to sort of say how good it's been for me and stuff, and I just want to explain some of the benefits today and a few reasons why I'm actually doing it. And I mean, I don't want to impose my opinion on anyone, my opinions might come out at some stage, but I just ask you guys listen to what I have to say, and at the end there'll be plenty of time for questions. So let's get started. So, can you put your hand up if you have a pet dog? And you consider it to be part of your family? And, well, I don't say yes, but anyway. So, can you agree that it's made from complex emotions that we do, such as happiness, sadness, hunger, and pain? And so, would you ever slit its throat, stick it in the oven, and have a dog rice for dinner? I mean, obviously, some of you might say, oh, yeah, definitely, but I mean, I know you wouldn't. And so, why do you consider doing it to this cute little guy? And I get that we've been brought up in a meat society where obviously this has been acceptable. However, just as we've been brought up doing it and it's been happening for thousands of years, that doesn't mean that we should continue doing it. I mean, let's look at a few other traditions that have happened. Like slavery, that was happening for like 400 years before people realised how immoral that was, and women not being able to vote, that was also used to happen. So if no one questioned this, then this would still be going on. Anyway, let's look at some statistics. So every single year, we're killing 1 billion land animals, such as cows, pigs, lambs, and chickens. And when I heard the statistic, I was confused, because, I mean, England is not that big, UK isn't that big, and I mean, we can barely fit 60 million people in, let alone 1 billion. And obviously you might see a couple of 100,000, in sort of the countryside and stuff, but, yeah, so you might see a couple 100,000 in the countryside and stuff, but 1 billion, that's a huge number. So I researched this and found out where a lot of them actually are. The truth is that they're all in the factory farms, out of sight, we can't see. They're all hidden for us because the industry is ashamed of what they're doing. And if this house was next to Sainsbury's, I doubt that many people would still want to go in Sainsbury's knowing what is happening in those farms. And we're also killing 2.7 trillion marine animals. And it's not just that we're killing them, it's what we're doing to them whilst they're alive. We're imprisoning them, burning off their beaks, cutting off their testicles, cutting off their tails. And it's not just the meat industry only. Let's look at the egg industry. And so every single hen, the day they're born, will have their beak burnt off. And then they'll have then they'll live at their 2 years of life in a crowded and cramped shed with many others, and a lot of them will actually be trampled. Then after 2 years, they will be killed. But the male chicks, I mean, they don't lay any eggs. The industry has no use for them. They're not going to make any money out of them. So they kill them the day they're born. They suffocate them in bags, or they just stick them in a grinder and they're ground up alive. And I mean, a lot of you may say that, oh yeah, well I buy free range. Well, this happens at a lot of the free range places as well, and I'm happy to talk about it another time. And the dairy industry is just as bad as well. So I mean, a lot of people think that the cows just magically produce milk just for us. However, this isn't the case, because we are mammals, and just like us, they need to be pregnant. And the industry doesn't want to wait around for this to happen, so they forcibly impregnate them using an apparatus called a rape rack. And then after that, when they actually get pregnant, they're just strapped into a machine, causing them great pain. They're milked 3 times a day, and they often get an infection on their udder called mastitis. Anyway, I'll talk about that a little bit later. And then the day comes when they actually give birth, and what would normally happen is that the baby cow would suckle from its mother's udder, and have the milk. But if this was happening, then the industry wouldn't be able to sell the milk to us. So they rip their baby away from the mother, who would never be seen again, and she will scream for hours and hours. And as the months go by, this whole process will happen again. She'll be forcibly impregnated, her milk taken from her, and her baby taken from her. And that's the life for a female cow. And if the baby's born a female, well, she'll have the same life as her mother. However, if the baby's born a male, then one of 3 things will happen to her. If we shot it in the head the day it's born, considered useless, he'd be raised for meat and killed a couple of years' time. Or the third option, which isn't so popular here in the UK, is that they will strap them in a pen, not allow them to go outside, feed them an iron deficient diet, then slaughter them after 6 months. And I mean, it isn't popular here in the UK, but but this would only happen if the dairy industry happened. So the veal industry only exists because the dairy industry exists. And it's not just here. We are killing babies across the board. Pigs, 6 months. Chickens for meat, 6 weeks. Lambs, 6 months. And turkeys also 6 months. And I mean, it's just weird how we can just kill these babies. Like, if we saw a baby animal out in the street, I don't think anyone would want to go over and slaughter it. We want to cuddle it and help it and stuff. Anyway, I've got a little video to show, and I mean, I will warn you, it's quite graphic. However, I mean, and a lot of you might want to look away. And if you are squeamish, then obviously you might want to look away. But I mean, before you think of looking away, if it's not good enough for your eyes, then why is it good enough for your stomach?
That's deep. That's deep.
I'm only going to show three minutes here, but if anyone wants to look it up and watch it at home, then it's called Britannia.